The most important impacts of the fracking controversy has been the human cost, as CCTV's YaKenda McGahee found out. In one Wyoming town, some residents blame fracking for the loss of their health and livelihoods. But at the same time, their neighbors are celebrating the newfound wealth fracking has brought to their community.
You know, my wife never had a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And we got this little place, and it ain't no mansion, but it's ours.
This is the story of a discouraged man.
You want us to walk away from something we build up? And what do we got? A mess.
Living in and near divided towns.
As far as the fracking affecting the groundwater, I can't speak to that. I mean, the jury's still out in Pavillion.
89 water wells have contamination from hydrocarbons, and we don't know all of the constituents, but we do know generally that many of those constituents are cancerous.
These are the people and places in the U.S. state of Wyoming that, on one hand, have reaped the rewards of natural gas development and advances in hydraulic fracturing technology, known as fracking.
In 2004, 2005, I think the annual budget for the town of Pinedale was about $3 million. This year it's 35.
But on the other hand, people here are asking, what is the price of progress?
People are moving away because their children are sick or they're sick.
There's tons of kids with puffers. And then the nosebleeds.
What kind of country are we living in where we can't take care of our people, but yet we'll let the oil and gas run plumb over us and run the whole world?
We have millions of tourists that come here a year, but they come here for the scenery, a world-class treasure.
The state of Wyoming, deep in America's West, is best known for its impressive mountains, translucent lakes, and unparalleled views.
The mountains used to be crystal clear. We had like a 200-mile view shed. It was absolutely incredible.
Until some residents say the natural gas boom, and more specifically, the fracking frenzy, polluted their air and contaminated their water.
That's where all our problems started, right there when they drilled that well in 2004.
Pavillion, Wyoming hay farmer Louis Meek says it took him 30 years to build this rural ranch into a sustainable home, and less than 10 years for the gas industry to destroy it. Meeks believes nearby fracking by Encana Corporation contaminated his well water. He says the scientific testing data doesn't deceive.
Methane in there, there's gas range, there's diesel range, high amounts of uranium.
And neither do the senses.
Oh my God. This smells like I'm literally in a gas station right now.
But in a written statement, Encana Corporation says, quote, after 3 years of investigation and 5 rounds of sampling, the EPA and USGS results have failed to find a connection between hydraulic fracturing and domestic well water quality complaints in Pavillion. The gas industry has always maintained there's no evidence, not a single proven case, that fracking contaminates groundwater.
Fracking doesn't damage anything.
All right, excellent.
Do your homework.
Try telling that to Meeks, who says his water is no longer safe for human, plant, or animal consumption.
I've lost horses, I've lost calves, I've lost sheep. My chickens get bottled water, and because if I give them this well water, they will start dying.
Downstream, about 100 kilometers southwest in Pinedale, it's not water contamination, but air pollution that's the concern.
This is the north end of the anticline where the gas drilling takes place.
In the past decade, this once sleepy little cowtown of 2000 experienced never-before-seen prosperity because of the gas boom.
We have an $18 million aquatic center. The natural gas production has brought a lot of really good things to our community, but it's also brought some challenges.
One of the challenges for this small town in recent years, big city smog.
The ground level ozone was higher here than it was in LA.
So high, a group of citizens threatened to sue the EPA under the Clean Air Act.
We are the least populated state, the least amount of cars, and we had the dirtiest air in the United States. So we went from the cleanest air to the dirtiest air within just 3 years. You know, incredible amount of drilling.
In response, the American Petroleum Association says recent studies show that natural gas development emissions, quote, do not reach levels hazardous to public health. Is that in fact coming from the drilling?
I think the jury's out on that. I think it's naive to think that air quality are not somehow related to industry. As far as the fracking affecting the groundwater, we don't have an answer yet. Industry says no, EPA says maybe.
Meeks says yes. And he says all questions can be answered, all doubts erased, with one simple sip from his tap. He's convinced the gas companies have purchased people's silence here. But Meeks says his can't be bought, not at this price. YaKenda McGahee, CCTV, Wyoming.